theory crafting on Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Welcome to Voice of the Fat Mantis. I know what you're thinking, Mantis, you are a Transformers fan? I'm the biggest Transformers fan. As a matter of fact, I have a great guilt that hovers over me. I have a vast collection of Transformers that I've been collecting since I was a kid up into adulthood, and they're all in crates up in a different part of this attic. And I just wish that I could display them. I just don't have the room. I don't live in a place where I have a lot of space, so I just don't have that option. And hopefully in the next place that I move, I will be able to have a room dedicated to not only streaming, but I could display these bad boys in the back. Now, that has nothing to do with anything, because I want to get into Transformers Rise of the Beast. I believe it's coming out June 6th, and this is probably my most anticipated movie of the year. Not only is it the sequel to the better version of Transformers films, Bumblebee, but it looks like it's not only a superior version of that, and it's the next level. It looks like it's closer to G1, closer to a Transformers film, that it doesn't involve all the ultra camp, ultra madness that is notorious with Michael Bay films. Maybe we'll get less stock footage of military craft in there for no reason. You know, maybe the Transformers will actually have character arcs. I don't know, but really, I really want to praise what we're going to see now instead of diss what we've already had. And I've got some theories to make about this one. Now, this is going to be a story where the Autobots meet up with the Maximals, or the main Maximals. Of course, we don't have our Rat Trap or our Dinobot in there, which is breaking my heart. We don't have them, but we also have a third faction, the Terracons. Now, they seem to be accurate enough. However, on the Terracon front, they are failing us. How so? Terracons tend to be robots who emulate animals. Now, the two biggest types of Terracons we've seen is in G1, they were a combiner group of animals who actually served the Quintessons and weren't your standard Decepticons. And then later on, they were revisited where they worked for Alpha Q, another Quintesson in Transformers Energon. And so this one, they don't have beast modes. However, we will be lucky to see Nightbird. Of course, their leader, Scourge. Now look at this bot. He looks amazing. I'm super impressed with what he's delivering here. And I've got a very important, very crazy theory about him. Before we do that, I would love it if you liked, shared, and subscribed to Voice of the Fat Mantis so we can have more theory crafting videos and just more analysis of Transformers, nerdcore, and all sorts of fun stuff. Getting back to it, so we have Scourge. Now, a lot of these characters are G1 inspired. Now, in G1, Scourge was a very important man. He was one of the three evil wise men, or three evil wise kings, as the creators of Transformers the movie envisioned them. They were Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus, and they served as the evil wise men from beyond. Ancient Transformers that are resurrected out of the body parts of broken Insecticons, broken Seekers, particularly Thundercracker, and of course Galvatron being created out of the living corpse of Megatron. But they've returned to serve Unicron, and they had a very impactful image, particularly Scourge, leader of the Sweeps. And I love it, and I love him, and he will forever be known. However, in future adaptations, that character actually almost never comes back. I can't think of a time that they brought the classic Scourge back. They actually gave that name to a different Transformer. And it's one that would sometimes be called Nemesis Prime. This is the concept where there is a black, twisted clone or evil version of Optimus Prime. In the Japanese version, it started in Beast Wars II, where Leo Prime goes to a planet and he finds a duplicating device that starts making duplicates of him and the other Maximals, and they're black versions. And it was one of those one-offs, as a lot of Nemesis Prime stories tend to be. Now, the story that stands out the most is where he was named Scourge. This is in Robots in Disguise, the First. That's right, the 2001 thing that was produced by Saban Entertainment. And in this, Scourge plays a very important role within it. He is actually in Autobot protoform in a pod, along with 6 other pods. and they are abducted by the Predacons, and the Predacons are able to reprogram them. They hack them and turn their Autobot programming into hateful Decepticons ones, which usually have a horrible effect on the minds of any robots that are birthed out of it. While in his chamber, he tries to scan a vehicle, but he ends up scanning both the vehicle and Optimus Prime. And when he comes out, he becomes a black version of Optimus Prime, cursed with the face of his mortal enemy. Now, he takes a good point because he doesn't stay a loyal soldier to Gigatron and the rest of them. He actually rebels and becomes a major third-party contender in that season's storyline. It's utterly amazing, and that was so well done. That kind of story continued in various projects to be emulated. They kept copying themselves. This idea that there is a black, twisted version of Optimus Prime that has a chip on his shoulder. Where am I going with this? Well, it's quite simple. This guy is named Scourge in the movies, but I don't think he's the G1 one. I think he is mostly based off of our Robots in Disguise one. Not only is he a black twisted clone of Optimus Prime, but I actually believe that he is Optimus Prime. Now, the story of the Maximals, Optimus Primal and the rest of them, are time travelers. They come from 300 years in the future of the Autobots' adventures on Earth. And they have clearly come back in time to warn Prime of some evil darkness that is coming. When we actually look at it, is it possible that this creature, who also has an alt mode that is a giant truck, is actually Optimus Prime turned evil? Perhaps he goes evil in the future. He goes dark. Perhaps he sides with Unicron. Perhaps he has some other agenda. Perhaps Primus or other pieces of Autobots have betrayed him and he felt that he needed to turn. But I think this would be interesting because of this quote from the trailer.
Of all the threats, from both your past and future.
This just sounds like normal movie stuff to try to make it feel epic. But if you think about it, they're talking about their past, meaning the Maximals have traveled to the past in prehistoric Earth, but also his future. His future being his future self. Now, in the trailer, we see a lot of crazy things, including the death of Bumblebee. The audacity of these people. But perhaps time travel will unravel that. I think there's going to be a lot more time travel in it than they have let on, and I actually do believe that Scourge is a future Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime has to find a way not to become this dark version of himself. It makes a wonderful, amazing plot twist that I think they're doing their best to try to hide from us. They actually have been trying to hide Scourge's alt mode. The internet knows all and discovers all. You can't keep secrets on the internet. But also just details on the character. Now, if you look at his face, it actually looks like he almost doesn't have a lower end of his face, almost like somebody grabbed off his faceplate and ripped it directly off, which I think is going to end up happening with something. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. I'm wondering how you feel about it. Do you actually think that he could actually be Robots in Disguise Scourge rather than G1 Scourge? Please let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Are you excited for this movie? Is this going to be the Transformers film we've always deserved? Because I have a feeling that it is, and I cannot wait to watch it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Keep tuning into Voice of the Fat Mantis. Keep tuning into me. I love all of you. Until next time, transform and roll the f*** out.